The Bailey Pursuit 402 is going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. In front of the van you've got your hitch, jockey wheel and handbrake, and your connection to the car. We'll take you through this in person here on site. On the side of the caravan, on either side of the front in the same location, you'll find your wind down legs to stabilise the caravan. There'll be a bar inside the caravan for doing this with. So you'd literally stabilise the van with these by just touching them on the floor with a little bit of pressure on them. You'd never lift the caravan with these due to the fact it could damage the floor of the caravan. So they are just literally for touching on the ground, stabilising the van, and that's all you do with these. You have one on each corner, so you have two on the front, like I said, on either side, and then two at the back, which I'll show you in a moment. You've got your water pump connection, which very simply goes into place with the blue trigger here. You pull the blue trigger back and push it into the side of the van and lock it in. The pump drops down inside the act roll itself, and then I'll show you how to fill the water system from inside the caravan. Then got your Truma heating flue. That is essentially there for the heating and hot water system to breathe. You don't need to do anything with it, however you don't also cover it up as it needs to be open to allow it to do its job. You then got your two fridge vents on the side of the caravan. They're essentially there to allow hot air at the back of the fridge unit and take some cool air in. Then on the top right hand side here you have a flue for when you're running the fridge on gas. The motor mover and wheel nuts, we'll take you through the motor mover here on site and demonstrate how that works, and we'll also torque the wheel nuts before you leave site with the caravan, so you can see they've been tightened correctly. The fresh water that goes in the side of the van here has to come out somewhere, and that's what the two grey pipes are for down here. So I have two bits of grey pipe work that go down inside the Wastemaster itself. You then have your toilet locker. So essentially the toilet locker is very easy to use. You've got an orange handle here at the bottom to pull the cassette out. The neck here pulls out and turns round so you can tip the waste away. On the back of the cassette you've got an orange pressure relief button, so when you are tipping the waste away it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. You'll need to put 1 litre of water in there and a cap full of the blue fluid prior to use. On the top here you have your toilet flush tank, which you'll need to open up with the key, and you'll need to put 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. On the back of the van, you have your two wind down legs. So as you can see, we've got one down for the purpose of handover, just to demonstrate how it works. And then we've got the other one there, which again, you'd need down when you are on site and using the caravan. Coming down the door side of the caravan, you've got your gas locker. The pipe work going to the bottle is a reverse thread fitment. So the pipe work that goes into the bottle, like I said, reverse thread fitment. And then you've got your gas tap on top for turning the gas supply on and off. Again, you've got your wheel and motor mover, which as I said, we'll go through while you're here on site. On the side of the van, you've got your leisure battery and your mains power lead coming into the side of the van. In there, you'll also have a power switch for your motor mover. Going on to the inside of the caravan now. As you come in the door on the left-hand side, you've got your main control panel for the van. So you've got your master power switch, your internal lighting and your awning lights. At the top here, you've got your voltmeter for the 12-volt system on board the caravan. Then you've got your water pump here at the bottom, which I'll take you through in a moment and demonstrate how that works. Above that, you've got your heating and hot water control panel, which I'll take you through in a moment. The first thing you're going to need to do is fill the water system up on board the van. So underneath the seat on the right-hand side of the van, you will find your water tank. Okay, and down in the corner down here, you'll have a yellow valve. To fill the water system up, that yellow valve needs to be parallel with the floor. If it's upright towards the bottom of the seat, when you turn on the water pump, the water will run straight out the bottom of the caravan. This valve is known as a drain down valve. We do advise after each use of the caravan that you open this valve up and allow the water to come out of the system on board the van. And we also advise that you open all taps up on board the caravan into the central position and have them fully open. So to fill the system, like I said, you'd have that tap open. Parallel with the floor to allow the water system to be filled up. And then you'll come to every tap on board the caravan and open them all up on the hot side. As you can see, I've already filled the system up on this particular van. But in a moment, I'm going to turn the water pump on. And we'll do that by coming over to the control panel just here. So, water pump off, water pump on. Once the water system is completely full, obviously you'll have water flowing out of every tap on board the caravan. Once you're at that point and you have water coming out of every tap, you can then shut each tap off. And essentially then, the water system is primed and ready to go. Once the water system is filled, you can then come over to the control panel by the door and you'll be able to start operating the heating and hot water. Press the central button here and it will take us into the options for the caravan. The first icon that you see flashing on the left hand side here is your room temperature for the caravan. So as you can see, I've got the heating on at the moment. You can turn it off as well. However, you'll select the relevant temperature by spinning the dial here in the centre. So for instance, 20 degrees. And then you'll press the central button to set the internal temperature of the caravan. Symbol here at the top indicates the heating is on. If you want to turn on the hot water, you can spin the dial to the right and it'll allow you to use the icon there, and you'll press the central button again. And then you've got 40, 60 or boost. Essentially 40 degrees of water temperature, 60 degrees of water temperature and boost for when you're showering on board the van. To set the water temperature, you very simply select the temperature you want, and at the top here it will come up on the screen saying you've selected that temperature, and that is what the heating, the hot water system will warm up to. I'm just going to turn that off for now. The next one across is the amount of power you have coming into the caravan, or the power source you want to use. So you've got gas as a sole power source. Very easy to do. You simply press the central button with the gas turned on in the front locker, and the gas system will self-ignite. Mix 1 is a combination of gas and electric at the same time. Mix 2, again, is a combination of mix and gas at the same time. However, the 1 is 1000 watts, and the 2 is 2000 watts of power coming into the caravan. If you ask the site office when you arrive on site, they'll advise of what electrical power source you can run on site, and that will be individual to each caravan site. Here you have electric on its own at 1000 watts and electric 2 at 2000 watts. To select the power source, you'll again press the button, and if it's on gas, for instance, as it, mains as it is now on 1 kilowatt or 1000 watts, sorry, it'll come up with 1 lightning bolt, 2 for 2000 watts, and it'll come up with a gas symbol as well for when you are running the gas option. You can also use blown air heating on board the caravan, so you can select the blown air. As you can see, it's on high at the moment. You can use it on eco, or you can have the blown air off if the heating is turned off. You can also use this as a cool air fan if you wish to have it on during the summer. It's not air conditioning, it is simply a cold air fan to blow some air around the van. Again, you'll just select the option you want by hitting the button in the centre. Down the bottom of the screen, you have timers for your heating and hot water controls. Screen time on the control panel here, and you have some advanced options which are more for the engineers. If you read with the instruction manual that comes with the caravan, it will advise you on how to set up the heating and hot water, and the clock also. Next up, we're going to go to the fridge unit. The fridge is very simple to use. If you're on mains power, you'll simply set this dial to the plug symbol, and you'll be able to control the temperature of the fridge on this dial on the right hand side. If you want to use 12 volt when you're towing down the road, you can simply select the 12 volt option just here, and that will run off the car battery itself, not the caravan battery. So when you're on site, you would either need to use mains power or gas to use the fridge. It will not work off 12 volt supply from the battery on board the caravan. Essentially it's there so when you're travelling down the road, the beer and wine gets nice and cold. Gas mode at the bottom here, again, very simple to use. You'd again use the temperature control on this side to control the temperature of the fridge on gas or electric. However, to ignite the gas system for the fridge, you've got your pilot light window over here. The orange line is essentially your pilot light. Pressing the temperature valve and hit the igniter at the same time. So you're literally holding the temperature valve and hit the igniter. Then when it does ignite on gas, this little orange line, this window, will come round into the green. And that essentially means your pilot light is lit. Once it has got around there, you'll continue to hold down the gas valve for a further 5 to 10 seconds to allow the thermocouple to warm up, then slowly release the valve once it has been running for a short period of time. To turn the fridge off, you'll simply turn the dial back to the off position at the top. The microwave is an eco microwave on board this particular van, so you need to hit the eco button before the microwave will wake up. So as you can see now, the screen has come on the top right hand corner, and the microwave will work like a standard microwave. Hob, grill and oven, again, all run on gas. So again, you've got your igniter on the front and your controls across the front. And again, you would need to hold in them gas valves for a certain amount of time, 5 to 10 seconds, just to allow the thermocouples to warm up, and it'll allow the gas system to run properly on the cooker. In the bathroom, you have your toilet, which is the last part of the van we're going to go through. Toilet system, very simple to use. Electric flush on top of the toilet, as you can see here. Toilet full indicator light. Now this light will illuminate red when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. The toilet seat does turn for your convenience. However, when you're removing the toilet waste cassette from under the van, you need to make sure this toilet seat is pointing straight as it is now with the back of the toilet system. As if the toilet is turned, it will actually lock the toilet waste cassette in place and it will not allow you to remove it from under the van. Down the front of the toilet you have the grey waste handle. This toilet grey waste handle allows the waste into the cassette underneath the van. We do advise that you open up that waste handle before you use the loo. So, one thing is, when that grey handle is also open, again it will stop you from removing that cassette. So that is the Bailey Pursuit 402. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company and we'll be more than happy to help. We thank you for the business and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon when you collect your caravan. Thank you for now. Bye bye.